Hello my dear friends, and welcome back. Today in this series of finding out the effects of planets through various houses for different ascendants, it's a very specific things we are looking at. We will try to find out what are the effects when Sun is posted in the second house, which is the sign of Taurus, for an Aries ascendant horoscope. So let's begin our story and exploration of this position. So first of all, when you have an Aries ascendant horoscope, the first house is the sign of Aries, and doesn't matter which kind of chart you're looking at. If you're looking at a North Indian chart, which I'm showing here, this is how the chart looks like, and the first house will be the sign of Aries. Suppose you are looking at a Western chart, which is actually a circular wheel kind of chart. Now in that you will find that these right here, this is the ascendant and this will be the sign of Aries. And the second house in the Western chart is this house. This is the second house, and this will be the sign of Taurus. And Sun will be posited here. But for my illustration, I'm using the North Indian chart because I'll probably explain the reason in one of my video later on. But let's come back to this chart. So for our today's discussion, we have Sun posited in the second house, and we know that Sun is the lord of sign Leo, and Leo is the fifth sign, and which for the Aries ascendant also happens to be the fifth house. So we see the lord of fifth house, which is Sun, is posited in the second house, which is the sign of Taurus. So like always, even before we go into finding out the effects and finding out what could happen in your life because of this kind of position, let's first see what are the areas of life which this position will impact. So first of all, we are looking at Sun in the second house. So the second house significance will definitely be impacted, and at a high level, second house shows the family of your birth. It shows the wealth you accumulate. It shows your face, your food habits, it shows your voice, the kind of speech you have, and many other things. But these are probably high level items, and wealth and family matters, these are the things which everyone would be interested in. Now by virtue of being the lord of fifth house, we know the Sun is the lord of the fifth house, which is Leo. This position will impact the fifth house significance also. So when it comes to fifth house significance, one of the most common one is love affairs. Kind of love you will attract in your life. Then it involves your children, your kids, your progeny. It shows your creativity, and it also shows your purva punya, or as I used to call it, things which kind of come easily in your life. Things which comes easy. And when I say which comes easy, we'll see what it means when we talk about fifth house. Now we are talking about Sun. So definitely the natural signification of Sun will be affected. So which is father, which also is your relationship with higher authorities in life. Now it could be anything: government organization, your boss in the office, or anyone who has more authority than you. Now when any planet is posited in the second house or in any house, it directly aspects the house which is right in front of it. So from second house, Sun will directly have an aspect on the 8th house, which is this. And oh, this is a very loud color, I guess. So let's see. Okay, so when the Sun has a direct aspect on the 8th house, the 8th house signification will also be impacted. There are many significance of 8th house, so we will probably look into some of the key ones, which is your longevity. I mean, it's about your life or life forces. I usually don't like to talk about how long a person will live, so we will probably skip that part here. It also shows other people. So like second house shows the family of your birth, and the house right opposite to it, which is the 8th house, basically shows other people or how you deal with them. It also shows other people's money, others' money, or oops, my typing is too bad today. Others' money or unearned money, money for which you don't have to work or you don't have earned, at least in this life. And it also is the house of hidden things, hidden matters. We'll see what it means. So even before we start the analysis, see, these are the high level areas of life which this position can impact. And I do get, as a as an avid student of astrology, these kind of questions a lot, that most people believe that Sun is a natural malefic, and when that planet is posited in the second house, which is a kind of a soft house, it shows your family, your wealth, your food habits, your face. And when a malefic is posited here, many people fear it. Many people, some people who have little bit knowledge of astrology, they come and ask me, because of this position, will I earn money or will I lose money because Sun is a malefic? Will I have trouble with my family members? Will I fight with them, or will I stay happily with them because Sun is in the second house? So there are, and these are all legitimate questions, and we will try to answer some of these as we go forward. So let's begin with our first set of items to address, so which is the second house. So let me move these things down and let's just concentrate on the first, say, family and wealth. So this is actually a tricky position for family and wealth. Let's see why. See, first of all, Sun is a natural malefic. If you look at the sky, wherever the Sun is placed in the sky, you cannot look that part. It's so bright, it basically burns that area completely. And it is many times said that whichever house Sun is placed in, or if there is any planet close by to Sun, it kind of burns that. It reduces the effects of that planet or that house, which is true in some sense also. So Sun is naturally malefic, but for the Aries Ascendant, it is the Lord of 5th house. It is the 5th Lord, and 5th Lord is generally the most or biggest benefic planet you can find in a horoscope, apart from the 9th Lord obviously, but it's a very benefic planet, being the 5th Lord. So you see, there is a clear dichotomy, two contradicting indicators. And how do we analyze horoscope based on this now? So let's see what happens in this case. So when this Sun is here, it basically gives you generally birth in a very good family. The family is a very well-to-do family, typically have family wealth from old generation. Sun is father, so father in the family of your birth is generally a very dominant figure. you know, father is someone who not just your family but even the extended family kind of looks up to, and he kind of, you know, takes all the decision, and you also look up to your father very well. And you know, overall, the as far as the family of the birth goes, it's a good place. But from the wealth point of view, what happens in this case is, being the lord of 5th house in the second, these people, they tend to get into some business or a activity where they utilize their family wealth. They use the family wealth to create their own business, and they start their own. But they do not crave to get the money of the family. You know, they don't generally want to take, you know, say for example, take $1 million from the father. No, they don't. They generally are not interested in that. Now, this position in Sun in Taurus is actually a very sensual position. These people love the physical life. They love the good things in life. You know, they love to enjoy life. They love to earn money and use it. But because it's the lord of 5th, it keeps them away from over greed. They are not greedy. They don't want to, you know, just take money from somebody which is not theirs. So this, and similarly for their family wealth also, they don't generally like to take money, or they don't expect their father or family to give them inheritance. What they do actually is, they use their family connection and family wealth to create their own money, and they do well in life, and they earn money, they enjoy it. And many times, you know, what we have seen, what has also been taught to me by my gurus, and has been a practical observation also, that they leave the family wealth to their siblings. Either they leave it to their siblings, or they use it for, you know, some other good purpose, either for the society or for their own family members. But they generally don't crave to get, you know, the money which has been earned by their forefathers, but they definitely use it and create their own wealth. Okay, and as I said, it is a sensual position. They love money, they love good things in life. But because of the 5th house lordship, it at least keeps them away from greed. You know, they are not after others' money. So this is about family and wealth. I think I'll remove this, and let's say now talk about their face and food. So food, Sun in the 2nd house in sign of Taurus, they are voracious eater. They love to eat. They love to eat, and they love to eat good food, rich food. And generally their diet is more than others. And because of that, they can easily fall or they can easily get problems in their tooth, in their gums, and in their face. In their face mostly because Sun is also a fiery planet, and 2nd house is the face. So they eat a lot of rich food, a lot of spicy food, which can you know, trouble the balance of fire or acid in the body and cause pimples, tooth ache, gum aches, and you know, those kind of problems. So those must be taken care of. Also, if you notice, or as you know, Sun cannot be hidden. Wherever the Sun is, it's mostly very visible. And so in their speech and voice, they always sound like they are bragging. You know, they talk very highly about themselves. They talk very highly about their family. They talk highly about their wealth. Sometimes they even talk highly about or brag about their ability to eat a lot of food. Many folks who indulge in competition of how many sweets one can eat have this kind of placement. And it's sun, so their voice is also very commanding. They are not very gentle when they speak, and they don't know it. It's so natural to them that if they are speaking, it feels like they are ordering something, almost like a dictator. And this happens, and it may not be their general nature, but because of this sun's placement in the second house of voice and speech, this come across very much. Also, if there is any affliction to this sun, say maybe sun is with Rahu or North Node or aspected by any malefic planet, then they might develop a tendency to speak ill, speak foul words, speak bad about others, or speak in a way where other people might feel belittled. They can they feel that they are being disrespectful to them because of their speech. But this most of the time this is not intentional, primarily because sun is the fifth lord, which makes it very auspicious, but it just happens and somehow they cannot do anything about it. So that's pretty much about, I think, second house. Let's move on to the fifth house affairs.